Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Football Brehz, a platform where we discuss, we debate, we even banter sometimes. My name is DOS, and I'll be your host for today's show. On the show with us today, we have Arsenal fan Kieron, we have Spurs fan Ben, and then we have Chelsea fan Kadus. Welcome back, guys. On today's show, we're going to discuss, first of all, how our teams are doing so far since we're in this second international break of the season. And then we'll finish off the show by talking about the biggest performers of the season so far, just in the Premier League as a whole, and also the biggest disappointments so far in the Premier League. Before we do that, can you guys make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, make sure you engage, you like, and you follow all of our social media platforms, and we'll engage with you guys as well. So let's start. First of all, let's go to Tottenham first. Mr. Ben. How are you feeling with Tottenham so far this season? It's been actually mixed for you guys because you started off well results-wise, but you ended up really bad results-wise. But performance-wise, the performances have been bad in general as a whole, right? Would you agree with that? How have you guys been?
Poor, absolutely poor. Yeah, apart from the Villa game, all the other performances were poor. But yeah, man, it's been a roller coaster, innit? I mean, to start with a win with Man City, you're kind of like, oh, okay, poor performance, but we're getting the results. And then, yeah, it was just a train wreck, innit? Bruv, it was a pain to watch us just lose all the London derbies so far. I had no expectations for the Villa game, but yeah, they pulled the results. I think obviously Son is back, so that's helping. But yeah, man, just not convincing yet. Not convincing.
How do you feel about Nuno? How do you feel he's doing at the club? Like, do you think he's failing, or do you think it's more than that? He needs time and he needs his players. And how do you feel him as your manager?
I'm not too sure, to be honest, because obviously, like, fair enough, he's only been there for 3 months. Do you know what I mean? Like, or 4 months now. I get it, but the bit that was worrying me was the lack of changes when things weren't going right. That's the bit that's worrying me him as a manager. He seemed a bit stubborn in his way, but that wasn't the case last game. So we'll see in it whether it's him still learning about the squad and everything, or whether it's whatever it is. We only in time we'll find out exactly what it is. At the moment, I'm just like in the middle.
Do any of the other two? Yeah, go on, Kadus.
Is it safe to say though that obviously with Harry Kane not being present at the beginning of the season, that may have played a part in things being a little bit disjointed? Because you can almost imagine that. Like we all like, let's be real. We know that Nuno wasn't the first choice. He's probably the 7th choice. So he came in. No, joke aside. No.
He's right.
No, it's facts. It's facts.
He came in.
I don't disagree. That's facts. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, but he came in. He came in, and you're having to try and more or less try and stable a ship that's sinking. You know what I mean? And obviously the biggest player wants to leave. He's made it very open, and he's went on strike at the beginning of the season, and then now he's trying to shoehorn him into the side, even though he hasn't been good, and everyone's like, well, he's gonna bang, so let's keep playing him. So I can imagine that there's a few obstacles for Nuno. I wouldn't worry too much at this moment in time. I think it's to be expected, right? But you shouldn't take the last result so like casually, man. It was a good result against a good side, and then obviously you won your Europa Conference League. We can argue about that and joke about it, but a win's a win. So it's one of them ones.
Yeah,
about, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you're right. Obviously, I think the Villa game, the interesting part for me was when we were 1-1, when they scored and it was 1-1. It was the way the players reacted, and straight away went for a goal. You could see how much that meant to them, and it was just showing a little bit of a positive mentality rather than heads dropping. Because a lot of the times, as soon as we went behind, that's when everything just started falling apart. So and defensively, we look like we're now understanding our defensive four, which was what we saw at Villa. because before we were mixing it up with Tanganga, with Davies. We were trying a back three at one point. It's just a shambles, but I think now he's kind of stabilized the back four to what it is now. So hopefully they keep playing together. It will build on that. So we'll see. And the midfield, I think he's working out the midfield as well and not overdoing it with too many defensive midfielders or too many attacking midfielders. He's getting a balance.
What do you guys think? What do you think? And this is maybe Kieron for you. What do you think Spurs need to do going forward into the season, like coming back after the international break to kick on? What do you think they need to do?
They need to pick up from where they left off, man. So they need to look at the Villa game. They have to take the pros from that, work on the cons, keep pushing on. Because the way that I see it, man, the Premier League is, I think for the middle, it's so open at the moment, man. So they need to push on. Their players need to be mentally ready for it as well, man, because it is going to be a battle for sure.
Yeah, it's funny because we're only what 4 points away from sort of the top. So even though it's been really poor, it's pretty tight game for quite a lot of teams. So yeah, it's going to be
those first 3 wins you had as well, man. I think that's where you are.
Okay, and what would you, just to finish this off, Ben? What would you want to change going forward?
Taking from what I've seen at the Villa game, I want the same going forward. I want the same sort of desire from the players, from the manager. But I think we just need Kane to be firing as well. Obviously, at the moment we're relying on Son, but we need Kane to be on form as well. But what we're still lacking, and I'd like to see us do something about, is just a bit of depth in the bench. We haven't got that in the bench, so we need a few more options there. So yeah, man.
Fair enough.
But, yeah, it's positive. I'm hoping that Kane banging in Europe Conference, Kane banging maybe for England and other competitions, will just get him a bit more confident and get him playing the game that he's good at. So yeah, we'll see.
Fair enough. Okay, well, let's go to the comments for that section just to see what the people watching are saying. We'll go to David Skeet first. Skeet, welcome. He says, worst performer of the season. Fair enough. Let's go to the second comment. Out of Kane and Vardy, who has had the best career for Mr. Good?
Okay, I think that's at Ben still.
Ben, that's a question for you. What are you saying?
Man, Kane all day. I must stick to that.
Next comment from Kemal. He says, "Sell Kane."
Yeah.
Hold on. Wasn't he saying a couple of weeks ago that Kane was better than Lukaku?
No, he's saying Lukaku's better.
Lukaku is better.
That way around. My bad.
Yeah. So you want to sell Kane, Ben?
Yeah, let him go, man. If he wants to go, let him go. We just need to obviously just make sure we've got a plan now in place by the time we come to let him go. I think we're not going to let him go until next summer. So just have a plan ready.
Fair enough. And then the last comment.
I would say though, Kane at Tottenham is irreplaceable.
Of course, it is. But again, we've got a new manager, and if he's going to stick around and if he's going to develop the team to how he wants to, he's got a chance now to find the type of player that he wants, the type of striker that he wants. So yeah.
Fair enough. And then the last comment, Kemal again. So are Tottenham still fighting to win the Premier League? Ben, that's for you.
Wow. Nah, obviously not, bruv. It's just top 4 at the moment. But I'll just stating the fact we're only 4 points away from top. So yeah, I don't know where Arsenal are. Kemal, can you let me know, please?
We'll get
just below you.
We'll get to Arsenal very soon.
Okay, cool.
And then next comment, Shane says, welcome Shane, by the way. Says too many ballers for Spurs don't speak Portuguese as their first language. That's the problem.
Right.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on from that.
That's controversial, boy.
Let's go to Kadus. Chelsea. Chelsea, on the other hand, top of the league right now, if I remember correctly. How are you feeling so far with where you are with Chelsea in the season?
I think any Chelsea fan should be happy with what we've seen so far. We had a bit of a dip the past couple of games. but it's to be expected. I think a lot of players are still coming back into fitness. I think Tuchel is still trying to tweak and find out who our best front three is with Lukaku. I believe that even though we've got, say again?
Werner, front three.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Werner, man. He's a boy. I think Werner's gonna have a good season. But you know what? Yeah, it's 7 games in, man, and I feel like all I wanted to see was just character and reaction, and it's good to see a lot of the fringe players coming in. Loftus-Cheek has been balling out. Ross Barkley's made some really good cameo appearances, which I never thought would have been the case. We all thought he was going out the door. Those two got ahead of Sal, which kind of shows, where how Tuchel rates him at this moment in time. So that's exciting. Yeah, man, I'm excited. You know what I mean? The Man City game was a bit of a bummer because I think we were really concerned. We were more concerned about conceding than we were actually attacking. And we didn't play on that.
But touching on that, what do you say to fans? Because there are some fans, some Chelsea fans online that are not happy with the way you guys are playing. You know, and I'm sure you saw it too, and I've seen you reply to some of them as well. Like they're saying that yes, it's good we're getting results, but the way we're playing is not as good as the way we were playing last season. Blah 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 blah. What do you say to that?
I listen. If we're talking about football Twitter, man, I ain't got listen. You got to take that place with a pinch of salt. At the end of the day, first and foremost, football is a results-based game, right? People can talk about if that's the case, we should have said, we should have beaten Man City 5-0 in the Champions League final. Well, it was 1-0, and we won one of the biggest trophies in club football. So don't get me wrong, there's elements that we need to fix. I think the balance, we need to figure out what that balance is in the midfield. At the moment, it's been a bit disjointed going forward, but we're 7 games in. We've just brought in a brand new player who means that the way that we shift that front three changes a little bit. So it's going to take time to adapt. So I just think people are way too reactive. I think at the end of the day, we had a very tough run of games, probably the toughest next to Man City, I think. And the fact that we've come out of that, we drew against Anfield 1-1 with 10 men, and we're now top of the league going into the international break. I think if someone told that to me, I'd bite the hand off. So
fair enough. And then lastly, what do you feel Chelsea need to improve on going forward? I mean, it's a tricky question because you guys are top of the league. You're through. You've won the Champions League. So, what do you feel you need to improve on?
The way that we played against Southampton is what I want us to be that brave moving forward in all the other games. It just seems like Lukaku came in. He read the memo, but the rest of our attackers didn't seem to understand what was going on. They need to do more. Havertz, I know he's a slow starter. He needs to do more. Ziyech, we need to start seeing some sort of performances from him because he's been off and off since he's come on. Werner, I want to see more of him. Hudson-Odoi, I want to see him play a lot more. He proved why he should be playing in that front three against Southampton. I need to see a lot more from our creative players. That's really what I want to get Lukaku more into the game, and that's probably the thing I'd say for us to do.
Do you agree with this? I really feel like Lukaku's downturn in goals, not even form, because he's probably still playing decent but in terms of goals, maybe it's because you don't have Mount. Maybe because Mount wasn't playing. Do you think that's the part?
Yeah, and you know what? A part of me agrees because when Mount isn't playing, you do see a significant difference in terms of the energy. That's the press. But not even just that, his football IQ is ridiculous. It's like for me, when you look at Mount as a player, you can just tell that he loves and understands the game because the way that he finds spaces, the way that he can actually overload some of the flanks, the way that he joins in that attack is brilliant play. We do miss him, but we've got enough players in that team that can handle some of the games that we played. Like the Juventus game was terrible. We had all the possession, but people weren't brave to make those passes forward. I don't know why. Obviously, Man City, we just played a terrible game, but arguably we missed Mount. That shouldn't be the main excuse. We have enough on that team to win games comfortably.
Fair enough.
Mount is one of the best young players in Europe, and no one's going to tell me differently. So you know what?
You say that again?
Mount is one of the best young players in Europe, and no one's going to tell me differently. Stop slandering. Listen, and that goes to Chelsea Twitter too. Stop slandering Mount. He's one of the best ballers in Europe. He proved it.
Oh, here he goes with the rant.
Nah, man, you don't need to understand the levels, bro.
All right, people that are watching, let us know if you agree with Kadus. Let us know, and we'll discuss.
It's good to see Chilwell's back. That's good.
Yes, man.
I like
Yo,
Chilwell.
that penalty you gave away, yeah, cool. But it just shows you. Guess who was the guy you took down? Tino Livramento, and he's coming back to Chelsea. Watch. He had an interview. He said he misses playing, so he's coming back. That was his little audition.
Yeah,
he scored as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't you go after that?
He did.
Yeah, scored as well. Yeah,
well.
Amazing technique. We missed him, and I'm glad that he's finally getting some minutes.
Wicked. Kieron, since you're talking, let's come to you. Arsenal. How are you feeling with Arsenal so far this season? Like Spurs, you guys have had kind of a black and white period.
Yeah, we've had the opposite. The opposite.
Exactly. The only difference I would say though is in your performances, you guys have actually played well in your performances.
They've not fully had the opposite because they drew their last game. All right, come on, it's not.
Well, if we're talking about the first 6 games, it was pretty much the opposite. We lost the first 3.
Okay, but we're reviewing 7 games. I'm just saying, you know.
Okay, jeez. Oh, what top you were in again? Okay, just double checking.
So Arsenal.
Yeah. So the first 3 games for me, man, it was so heartbreaking to watch. I kind of disagree in the sense where you say we played good football. We didn't play good against Brentford whatsoever. We got outplayed.
No, I mean you played good football in the good results that you guys won in the last. I think it was 2 or 3 games when you guys got good results. No.
Yeah,
I think it was only against Tottenham.
I think we played. Yeah, no, against Tottenham. That's the best.
Is just throwing bare compliments today.
No, he's not. I think he threw it out there because he wanted to rein it back in to just say it was only Tottenham we played actually good.
He was planting a seed, bro. He wants war, fam.
So I would say we've defensively we've looked good in the games that we haven't lost in. So since we've had our back 5 of like Ramsdale, Tierney, Gabriel White, and Tomiyasu. I think his name is.
Tomiyasu, yeah.
I didn't want to say it because you know my pronunciation is too good, but you know
he's dead food. Tomiyasu is dead food, bruv.
No, don't hate, man. What are you hating for?
My guy was getting mauled against Brighton.
One bad game. Yeah, it was raining.
He was shook, bro.
It was raining.
He had the ball, and one.
That's my excuse.
I don't know who it was.
I was saying raining.
Running at him, right, and he got so scared he took the ball out of play. Like he passed the ball out of play. That's how.
I remember that.
I will say. The game on the weekend was the worst game he's had, but everything up to that point has been really good. I've been really impressed.
And that's because it was raining, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go. That's what I want to go with, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the back 5, I think, and also I would say our spine as well. So even having Partey in front, having Odegaard and Smith Rowe as well, hand in the middle. The only thing I'm not too impressive at the moment is our strikers. So Aubameyang, he has to do more, man. He has to do so much more.
But don't you think that your defense being this solid, or I think it's the return of Gabriel? No, his leadership, because I don't think it's.
Yeah, I say Gabriel and Partey. I think Gabriel and White have a good relationship. They have a good partnership. So the way that things are working, I think their communication skills are really good as well. And the reason why I mentioned Ramsdale is because we don't look under pressure anymore when our keeper's got the ball. So many times Leonard will get the ball and you're like, okay, then there's a goal coming. He's got the ball at his feet, but he's going to do something silly.
Gotcha.
So the fact that Ramsdale's replaced him is showing that he's playing more into Arteta's tactics and he believes in the project.
Yeah, I get you. I would say I would wait until I make that comment because you've played Norwich, you've played Burnley, and you've played Spurs. Okay,
yeah,
maybe
dead Spurs performance, bro.
Maybe Spurs is a good. I mean, maybe that's a good one because was Spurs pressing really hard? No, they weren't really pressing.
It wasn't. No, bro. But again, I can
Spurs performance was worse than Burnley and Norwich.
Yeah, but that's your team, so that's your fault. But I can only talk about the teams in front of us that we've played.
Fair enough.
I can't talk about anyone else.
Fair enough. Okay, and then going forward. What do you think that Arsenal need to do going forward to improve on what they're doing right now?
I just touched on it, man. We need to score more goals. We have to score more goals because apart from
Odegaard. So that's Odegaard.
He has scored. Odegaard has scored.
You're
trying to go for it. A goal's a goal.
No, it means
a goal's a goal.
I'm talking about supplying. I'm saying that if you want to score more goals, you need your creative players to step up.
Not our strikers, because he's. I think, like I said earlier, Aubameyang has to do a lot more. Like, he's had a lot of chances, and even like when he's one, like I think it was last week against the keeper, he was 1-on-1. Usually, he would have just tucked it in. He's trying to go around the keeper. He lost the ball, even though it was offside.
Yeah,
but the confidence for him isn't there. He's only been confident against Spurs. Other than that, he has to do a lot more. I think the fact that we've got Saka on one side, we've got Smith on another side, we've got Odegaard in the middle. They're all creating, all doing something, but we need someone to capitalize on it now. And we also need them to contribute a bit more, like they have been doing. I think all of them had scored, actually. Odegaard scored, Smith Rowe scored, Saka scored, Aubameyang scored, but we just need more. I think there's literally, five goals in the past, maybe 4 games or something like that.
Oh, yeah. And did you guys give up on Pepe? Like, what's happening to Pepe now? He don't start nothing. He's on the bench.
He can't get in. The others are performing so well, apart from Aubameyang. I think he's not getting in over Saka. He's not getting in over Smith Rowe. He's not getting in over Odegaard. So he has to play a blinder somewhere. And I think he was one of our best players during preseason as well. But unfortunately,
that's 72 million though on the bench. You think even though that he's not playing as well as them, you think Arteta is going to keep a 72 million player on the bench?
It's got to be done.
He was benched for the past 2-3 seasons, isn't it? So
if he's performing and he's getting results, then obviously he'll come back into the team.
Because he finished strong last season.
Can I just say something though?
Yeah, he did.
Don't let the Tottenham gas you up, bruv, because you played against Brighton and you guys looked mediocre once again. So let's just be prepared for what's to come. So you're all there with your glasses of wine and your party poppers, just having a good time in that because you beat Tottenham and in whatever, and then you go to Brighton and Tomiyasu is out there looking like Bambi on ice, looking like
I told you it was raining, man. It was raining. The stuff wasn't right.
But we're in England, bro. It rains every day.
Yeah, but he's not used to that yet. He come aboard, isn't it? Allow him. Let him settle in.
My guy.
That's like already they installed for him.
That is hilarious.
You want to talk optimistic about the future. You got nothing to look forward to, bro. Like, listen, worry about
you're hating.
What about probably why?
Come on, Kadus, we can't be talking about hairlines, man. We can't.
Kadus. You know what it was, yeah? The Tottenham win, yeah.
Shave my head off.
The Tottenham game, yeah, meant that Arteta stays in it. So I'm cool with that. Let him stay.
Listen. Kieron, you gonna take your cap off because he took his hoodie off?
I can't hear you.
Okay. On that note, let's go to comments. So let's go to Kemal. Kemal saying,
why is Kemal commenting and he's not on the podcast?
I have no idea. Fam, man's active, fam. I'm too busy.
What's going on there?
I'm too busy.
Man, like Kemal says, nobody talks about Chelsea players. So he's saying it's only you, Kadus.
Right.
I think it's when you were talking earlier on about Chelsea. He says no one talks about Chelsea. Oh,
yeah, you went on a rant. When you went on a rant about
it was Mount. Yeah, he said.
That's true, actually.
I ain't saying anything because everyone knows the truth, so it's fine. I'm just going to keep my mouth like that. Kemal, I don't know why. Kemal, listen, come on the podcast, bro. I don't know why you're typing Twitter fingers in there, bro.
Next comment from Shane. Shane says Gabriel. Oh, there you go. Gabriel has upped his fellow defenders' confidence a lot. I feel it's the same point I made earlier. He said he's very.
Tomiyasu, yo, Gabriel needs to inject some of that in Tommy because my guy looked shook out there, bruv.
Kamal then replied to you. Kemal replied to you and he said, I'm here.
Tell him, Kemal, tell him.
You're here in spirit, bruv. You ain't here in person, man, my G. Can't take you seriously, man.
And then Shane says, don't raid on our parade, Kadus. Mount is only good for being on Chunk's videos now. Oh, my What are you saying, Kadus? What are you saying to that, bro?
Look at that.
Oh, my God, you got him. Oh, wow.
All I'm saying is that Mount has got himself an assist in the Champions League final. Where's Saka and Smith Rowe?
Are we talking about this season or last season? Are we talking about this season or last season?
Conference League? It don't matter, bro. It's 4 months
ago. That's Spurs, bro. Are we talking about this season or last season?
Arsenal don't even know what the Champions League is like.
Do you, Ben? We've got.
Yeah, it's only 2 seasons ago, bro. We still know how it sounds like.
Let's go to the next comment. Let's go to the next comment. I don't know who this is. I think it's someone new. If it's someone new, welcome to the show. If it's someone we know, let us know who you are. But they said they go by unknown quantity. They said, I'm late, but Sancho for me is the worst signing. 73 million and done what? So we're judging Pepe after how many years he's been at Arsenal?
3. It's been 3 seasons now, I think. Yeah.
For 3 years, and you're judging Sancho on 7 games. I mean, come on. And Sancho
let the corn fly, man.
Sancho also actually had a very good game.
That's Brooke. That's undercover Brooke.
That's probably Brooke. That's
Brooke's burner account.
Next.
No, I would say though, I don't think Sancho was needed at Man United, and it's showing the way that he's been.
Sancho was what? Sorry.
I don't think it was needed.
We can get to that though.
Sancho is definitely needed at Man United, 100% on that right side. 100. We've been looking for a right-sided forward. What do you mean Sancho is not needed?
Okay.
I know you just did that. I know you just did that, Kieron. Don't. I know you just did that. Don't.
Well, I didn't do nothing.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next comment then. Unknown quantity again says Grealish is better than Mount.
That's obvious.
He's your friend, Kieron. He's your friend. So someone named Mark.
Oh, big up Mark in the building. He's an Everton fan, so he's not biased.
Okay. Welcome, Mark. Pleasure to have you on here. Welcome. He says Grealish is better than Mount. So what are you guys saying?
That's right.
He's more developed. What? 25, 26. Okay. Reaching his prime. Mount is still what? 22. Cool.
So they agree with you. They agree.
All right, it's an Everton
let's move on.
Yeah?
But it's not because Mount gives your team a lot more than Grealish.
Mark is Everton fan. Mark, what's your view on the game just gone with United, Mark? Tell us.
Yeah, tell us on there, and then we're going to touch on that for sure. So Man United, actually, talking about Man United, Ben, let's go to Man United right now. For me, I think it's been a lackluster start to the season. Like, I don't think we've played well. I think we've played well in patches, but overall, when you look at it, not good enough for me. I feel we look disjointed. We feel everybody's playing as individuals and not as a team, as we've discussed many times before. And I feel because of that disjointment, I feel players like Sancho coming in, I mean, it's not easy for them to fully express themselves even Varane. I mean, we know how good Varane is, and Varane has started at Man United very, very well. But even him, you can see he's still trying to like steady the rivers, find a stability in what's going on right now, which is difficult because now Harry Maguire went out, so he has to hold that. So there's a lot of things for me I feel like we need to fix at Man United because we've got the right players, I think. We've got the squad, I think. We've got really a deep squad as well. It's funny that Kieron's saying we don't need Sancho, which I don't get where that comes from unless he's trying to trigger Brehz. So that's a different discussion.
He was definitely.
Do you want to jump in? I can jump in. I can jump in if you want to. No, just looking at his performance for Man United and looking at the players that you've bought over the past couple of years. I don't think he was needed as maybe almost I'd say a marquee signing because I think that's what he was at the time. Did you get him before Varane?
Yeah, we got him first.
Yeah. So that's what I mean.
Last season. To be honest with you, he's supposed to be our marquee signing from last season. So we knew it was always coming this season. Apart from Kadus. Kadus thought he was getting Chelsea, but we knew he was coming United this season.
Oh wow, poor Kadus. But even saying that,
okay, cool. So right.
What about the guy you bought last year? Is it Diallo? What about him? I thought he was meant to be the.
No, Diallo's really young. Diallo's 18 or 17. I mean, Diallo's young. Like Diallo won't be used proper. I mean, he may be used here and there now, but he won't be like the star that we're looking for until maybe another 6, 7, 8 years. So we've got time to come into the team.
Okay, fair enough.
Why are you smiling, Kadus? What's going on?
He's getting ready to attack, man.
I love Kieron's tactics, man. He's just.
I know.
He's so soft.
Keep asking. Anything else, Kieron?
Huh?
United?
Carry about United, man.
The reason, just to touch on the Sancho situation, the reason is, I mean, don't get me wrong. I can see that Sancho right now is not hitting the heights that we need him to hit. But in the last game, I thought he was very good. In the last game where we drew to Everton, he was very, very good when he came on. But we've always, for the last 3-4 years, needed a right-sided winger or forward. Like, we haven't had that. Like, we've been putting Mata there. We put James there, Lingard there. Sometimes we put Rashford there, and it doesn't even work. So we've always needed a right-sided winger. Everybody and their family know Man United needed a right-sided winger. We also needed centre defensive midfielder. So you could have said maybe we should have gone there first instead of there. And that's a good argument. I agree fully with that. It's a good argument, but there was no center defensive midfielders probably available at the time we were looking. You know, we were trying to get Rice, maybe. Look at
Camavinga. Camavinga was available, man.
Camavinga wanted to go Real Madrid. He didn't want to come.
But do you because you know what it's like with a lot of players, right? As a player, you've got to assess your options. You can't be like, yo, I want to go here just in case you might not go there.
Yeah.
And I think mate, what would have? Because come on, like United is still one of the biggest teams, probably the biggest team in the world. If they were like, yo, we're going to make an effort to get Camavinga, you're going to have a starting place. You're going to be the gel in that midfield. I'm quite sure you could have convinced him to come.
But do you remember what? Do you remember what Fabrizio said about that whole situation? He said Camavinga right now, his contract, he's in control of all of that because he had 6 months left, I think, at the club that he was at. So he doesn't want to make any decisions until the end because he wants to see all of his offers. And then the other thing he said was that his preference is either going to PSG or Real Madrid. Those two are his preference. Of course, Man United, he will accept Man United if to look at the offer, but his preference is them. And as soon as Real Madrid came in for him, it was game over. You know, like I really don't believe we would have got him. I would have loved to. I think he's an amazing talent, but I don't think we would have got him. So
I just think for me, it just United should have shown some intent. Just a little bit, and even it would get someone else in that position to put their heads up and kind of go, wait a minute, United actually looking for someone in that position, and maybe that could have convinced some agents to
maybe.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Anyway,
I feel that you like I've always said this. You need to control your midfield, and I feel for me,
100%.
United for me have been, and this is not a cuss. I think United in terms of expectation, I think United have been underperformed the most, right? Because when you look at United in that team,
that's natural cost
to be playing a lot better than they are, and credit to Ole, what he's done in terms of stabilizing the team and all of the stuff that people are saying, but we all know, I feel like the biggest issue is how he's managing games. We saw what happened at Everton, and that was a little bit weird. So,
I agree. I can't argue
with that sentiment.
So I just had a thought. Does Lingard play in the same place as Sancho? Because you said you used to play Lingard on a wing.
No, Lingard's best position is number 10. That's Lingard.
Okay. No, because I was he's outperforming Sancho by miles, man. That's what I was gonna say. But
allow it, man. Allow it.
Oh, okay. We can move on. My bad.
That's okay. I mean, you can say that. I mean, he's right. He's right. He's right. Lingard is outperforming Sancho right now. That's the truth.
Wow. He was just taking shots in the bullets are flying.
But when you
can't see them, invisible bullets.
But when it comes to Arsenal, I'm here to take it. Come on in the chat.
But then I can also say, look at the Sancho's career. Look at how many goals, how many assists he has, and Lingard doesn't even go in the same pedestal as him. So there's different ways.
Yeah, but Lingard
is different. Sancho's ceiling is a lot higher than Lingard's. Lingard in his prime, I do believe that you should play him a lot more though, because you will get goals from Lingard. So that's what you.
And Lingard's younger as well. He's got more time to develop.
Yeah. Okay, that's enough of Kieron for the day. So moving for Man United, moving forward, I think all I'm going to say moving forward, it's all about performance, and performance comes from the coaching. It comes from how we prepare for shows, and Kadus really hit it spot on. It's the midfield. We need to control the midfield to control the games. And if we can't do that, we're going to have the games that we've been having for the majority of the season, for sure. And that's why I've always said from the beginning, United are not winning no Premier League. I've always said that from the beginning of the season. No matter if we've got Ronaldo, no matter if you don't have control in your team and you don't have a specific style, there's no way that you're going to win a trophy like the Premier League. So I don't even know if we're going to.
Do you think Ronaldo should have started against Everton?
I think you don't get me wrong. Cavani, I think, did incredible, and I don't think he should have been taken off. But I don't think you bench your players that are in form. Ronaldo's got 5 goals in 5. Like, I think he should have started. Who are we resting him for? The Portugal? I don't care about Portugal. We shouldn't be resting our best players. So he should have started, and then Cavani should have come on in the last 20 minutes if we needed him. That energy would have done everything. As soon as Cavani went off, we've lost all the pressing, we lost all the energy because Ronaldo don't press. So that's going to be also an interesting thing to see how Ole's going to balance that, because it's clear Cavani works harder, but the thing is, Ronaldo is a lot more decisive.
But also, it's clear that Ronaldo
did the right thing.
So we'll see.
Hold on. Oli did the right thing in what?
In starting Cavani.
No, I don't think so. I think it's the wrong
This
thing.
is my but the reason why I say that is the way that Everton plays, especially under Brehz, they're quite aggressive, right? And you do need that press. So I think Ronaldo doesn't give you that. He'll give you goals, but the fact of the matter is, you had more than enough quality to beat Everton that day. Yeah,
100%.
like let's not act like Cavani isn't a political.
No, I agree fully. I'm not saying we lost because of Cavani. Oh, not lost, draw. It feels like a loss, but I'm not saying we drew because of Cavani. I'm just saying you're not helping yourself with making these decisions because
I guess it's hindsight. Because if you won, then no one would be having this conversation.
No, but I would rather have the dynamism of Cavani to come on and try and help us win a game rather than relying on a Ronaldo. So that's
I hate.
So let's see. There's some people talking about comments regarding what we're talking about. No, it's
about, man.
Kemal's about though. But let's go to let's go to Mark, unknown quantity. I like the name, by the way. He said we played well. United need a new manager. I agree. And Everton did do really well. So I'll give you that.
Big up to Mari Gray. Big up like Mark.
Mari Gray is a bad boy. Yeah, the Mari Gray.
It was the guy that started doing the doggy as well when he thought he scored.
Oh, that was Mina, whatever his name is.
Okay, he's got a nice technique, man.
The thickest doggy ever.
He was there, man. He was. I don't know how you got offside though. That was terrible decision.
That was
oh my days.
No, the offside was.
He should have passed the ball.
He should have shot. I don't know why he passed the ball. They would have had all 3 points if he shot, but he didn't. That was such a really weird decision he made. Again with Mark, he says ain't got the stones to manage such a club. So he's talking about Oli. You know what? You have a good point. I can't really debate that. He's making the same mistakes over and over again, year after year. So
are you saying Oli out then? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying Oli out, but I'm saying I agree with the points that he's making. There's a big difference, mate. Are you saying Arteta out?
Huh?
Okay, cool. So we go to Mark again. He says you needed a DM more than Sancho, to be fair. 100% agree. 100% agree. The only thing is if we got a DM and we didn't get Sancho, would we have lost the chance to get Sancho? Because Sancho we've been going for the last 3 years. You know what I mean? That was a big aim for us to get. So
should have sold Van de Beek and got a DM.
Fair enough. But what DM is out there that we can get right now? This is the thing. It's easy to say, let's go and get a DM, but who's out there that we can get that will come, that his club will sell him? Rice, no, because Chelsea want Rice as well, and Chelsea didn't even go there and pay the amount of money, ridiculous money they're asking for. Who else is there? Camavinga wanted to go to PSG. Neves maybe, but is Neves really the right guy? Yes, he's better than
Chimi from Monaco.
Yeah, he's a baller. Yeah, him, I think we should have maybe gone for.
What about, is it Kessie from AC Milan?
Yeah, Kessie's in his last year. He's in his last year, but how old is Kessie? That's another thing. And is he a defensive midfielder or is he a box to box? There's also that question to be asked too.
I think by trade he's more of a DM, but I think he's got more of a free roam in AC.
The thing is, Man United need a player who can dictate play. That's who they need. Like, they don't need this most dynamic defensive midfielder or even a defensive midfielder. It doesn't even have to be that title. Like Chelsea, for example, they have Kovacic. You know, like he's not the most dynamic player. He's not the most strong player. He doesn't run. He's not fast, but he dictates play. Like Man United had that when they had Carrick. So we need someone like that because we do the quick passage from defense to attack, and we need someone who can play that. And we don't have that. So it's not, I don't know, can Kessie do that? I don't think Kessie can do that. You know what I mean? So I think there's a specific role that United are looking for in that position.
I know someone who can do that. Just tell Ole to give Arteta a call and you can have Xhaka. Simple things.
Fair enough.
Xhaka might play better, you know, because he
might play better, man. United, he plays better everywhere.
I think he would. I think he would. He doesn't. For me, he doesn't fit into the Arsenal.
No, Arteta is soft, man. He's soft like a cheese slice, bro.
Let's go to Shane on that.
Shane, cheese slice, you know.
I'm hurting for Donny van de Beek. Man can't even get into on a team and seems not wanted. Kind of reminds me of Mad Lady in Squid Game.
Yo, someone from this chat. Don't be talking anything about Squid Games, bro. I haven't watched it.
Don't ruin anything about Squid Games. People haven't watched it yet. But you know what? That's a good
point. About those, Shane. Yeah.
And I do feel sorry for that Donny as well, because I really believe he deserves an opportunity, but he's not getting it. So it's brutal.
Yeah.
I think the Van der Beek is gone January, not even summer, January.
Has
It's gone.
to be. Has to be.
For both his sake and the club, I think he has to go.
Yeah. What's his name? Mark. Mr. Mark says Diallo is 19. Thank you. So he's not 18 or 17. He's 19. So
You thought he was younger?
I thought he was younger. He's 19, but he's still.
How old is Saka?
Saka, I think he might be
Just turned 20, yeah?
19. I think he's 19. I think he just turned 19. I think over the summer.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Kadus, you want to say something? Because it looks like you want to say something, but you can say something.
He was ready to shoot some shots, bro.
How old is Mount? How old is Mount?
Mount is 22, bro. Mount is 22.
He isn't, man. He's younger. Mount's a teenager.
Well, no, according to Chelsea fans, he's a teenager. But when you look at the real age, he's 22, and they're trying to compare him to the likes of like.
OS, why are you missing the shots being fired?
That's true. No, because no, when we talk about players, we talk about Foden, Saka, Mount in the same bracket. But I always thought he was the same age. I didn't realize he was.
With Mount, yeah, it's Chelsea fans that are debating Mount. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing. You go on football Twitter. If you want to go into the twilight zone, go on football Twitter and you see Chelsea fans arguing about Mount. It's the maddest thing. But no, I don't listen. I just respond in it.
Fair enough.
So they're talking facts.
When you mention them, I will appear like Candyman. So that's what happens.
Let's go to Mark. Let's go to Mark again. He says, I think the excuse of no players being about isn't good, as it's been a problem area for 2 to 3 seasons. What does he mean by that for United?
He's talking about
DM being available.
Yeah,
it's a good point. Also, 73 million for a player who had a mere Euros and then hasn't hit the ground running. It seems like he has an issue with Sancho. I don't know your friend.
I think he's more talking facts. But to be honest, I don't think Sancho had like a mere Euros. He didn't have a Euros. He didn't do anything.
My thing is, he didn't have a Euros. Exactly. My thing is, if you're saying someone like a Sancho. You know, if you're questioning the qualities of someone like a Sancho, you don't know football. It's really as simple as that. So
I think what he's saying is Sancho's come from Bundesliga. Obviously, he's struggling with Premier League, just like Werner did. Yeah. You know, but he'll get there.
As well, yeah. Oh,
no, he's got a point though. He's got a point.
Bruv, I'm not trying to throw shade like you, bruv, on the sly. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, you guys are talking, but he's using words like, you know, problem, like he's using like, I don't know if he used flop earlier on, but he used something like that. My thing is, this guy's been 7 games, like jumping on a 7 game. It doesn't make no sense. He got sick when he came from Euros to Man United. So, of course, look what happened to other players that got sick in other clubs.
You're getting triggered, bro. Allow it.
No, I'm explaining. What do you mean? Ben, you got triggered today. You got triggered today.
No. Let's move on, bro.
All right.
Let's go on. Make sure you have
just to bring it back to the point. Yeah, I think your midfield has been a problem area for 2 to 3 seasons. So I do agree with Mark. I think that should have been addressed.
Yeah.
Sancho obviously is all fun and jokes, man. We do know you got a ball in your hands. It's going to take a bit of time for him to be acclimated. And if he doesn't, then look, we can the battle can commence. But for now, it's way too early to be making this kind of judgment. But you should have had the DM. That was the main thing, and I've always said that you should have had the DM.
But also to add to that point of the DM, I also think even without a DM, we should be performing better.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think you can still manage a team without a DM. Like, look at Man City right now. They're managing the team without a striker. Yeah, you can say Jesus, but Jesus is, for me, an average.
Yeah, but you're expecting Ole to have that kind of level of tactics.
And then that's the thing. And it works because Pep style, he needs plenty of midfielders on the pitch in order for that's how they play. They defend by making sure that no one else gets the ball off them.
Yeah.
And the way they have their midfielders attack the spaces is very different. Ole doesn't seem to have a plan in place to win games, and that's the issue. We've seen that already.
But Arteta's also doing that at Arsenal. He's trying to do that. He's trying to like take the Pep.
Key word is trying. That's the.
Okay, the other keyword is failing.
Let's quickly move on through the comments. Kamal says, "I'm here."
Yes.
He says, "Come on now."
Go to sleep, bruv. Kamal, go to sleep.
He says, "Come on now." Mark says, "Yeri Mina." So I think it was.
The guy was doing a Dougie at Old Trafford.
Was I calling Mina Viola? Was I calling Mina Ravioli or something? My bad.
And then Mark says Kessie is only 25, but more of a box to box rather than a DM. So that's what we were talking about earlier. So that's to you, Kieron, before he's a DM. Mark also says need a Tonali to be fair.
Who is Tonali?
Tonali is, I think he plays.
The Italian who plays for what was the team? He's going to tell us. Mark will tell us right now. Tell us who the team Tonali plays for. But I haven't
come back to that.
I haven't really watched a lot of him. It could be Napoli. I haven't watched a lot of him though. I haven't watched a lot of him, so I wouldn't know. But maybe I'll look that up and see. Dwayne, welcome, Dwayne.
AC Milan.
AC Milan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, alongside Kessie. Okay.
D-Dubs. Man like Dwayne laughing. I don't know what he was laughing about.
No,
when he said Arsenal, it's like a cheesecake slice, whatever.
Ben,
you're doing this.
D-Dubs says Kessie is a decent player though. Agreed. I think he's brilliant. I think he's a very good player. Mark says think he is good in the German league. He's talking about Sancho again, his friend. But not every player can step up to the Premier League. He had to leave City to get games in a league which is less physical. I think Sancho will be a great player. Okay, fair enough. I think all those.
It was better than what you mocked up.
Huh?
The last one took you back.
I did not expect that. No, that
That's a compliment.
I know. Did I read that properly? But okay, fair enough. Mark
again. I was ready to dash, bro.
We need to bring Mark. We need to bring Mark on the show, innit? So we can do this face to face, innit? Mark says, however, I think this season will be a bit. He will be a bit.
Why would you win? I need to be on the show. I think it'll be a flop. Oh, that was amazing.
We'll get back to this comment at the end of the season. Let's see how it is. Maybe, I mean, some players it takes a whole season, takes sometimes 2 seasons to adapt, you know. So
or
maybe
3 if you're talking about Pepe.
Okay, fair. No,
or 7 Martial.
Oh, 7. That's bad mind. Martial has had a good season. Come on, he was okay. Fair enough. Mark says, however, Kemal. He says, "Where's Isha?" The same question we can ask about you, Kemal.
Get out of the chat, bro.
No, I'm joking, Kemal. I'm joking. Isha, I don't know where Isha is, bro. Mark says Sandro Tonali for AC Milan from AC Milan. Okay, yep. We're gonna look him up. I'm gonna look him up anyway to see who this player is. And then Mark says, was that how'd you say that? Brescia? How'd you say that club? Let's see if any of you can say that club.
How do you say it, Ben?
Is that Brescia?
Brescia?
Okay. Brescia, man from London. From Brescia. Man from Brescia.
We'll check that out. Okay. So I think I'm looking at the time right now. So I think what we can do is leave because we were going to talk about the biggest improvements this season and the biggest disappointments this season so far. Maybe we can leave that to next week's show with the previews of the show that's coming up, just because we don't want to be here forever as well. So any other last minute thoughts that you guys have before we finish up?
Can we get thoughts from one person though?
Say again?
Can we get thoughts from one person? There's one person waiting to come in. Is it all right?
Yes, of course.
Oh gosh.
I'm here interacting 24/7 about where am I? I'm always about. I'm always about where am I? I'm here.
So now you come on. Now the coast is clear, yeah.
What are you talking about?
You start talking about Arsenal. Now you want to come on here.
What you talking? I'm always listen. You know what your problem is. I think your problem. All you do is like you cry for Chelsea 24/7. You always people need to start respecting.
Bro, you look like a Power Ranger from the 90s, bro.
Man, Power Rangers.
Nothing like. I'll see you men's later. Peace, great show, and enjoy your evening.
Yeah,
let's go on. Nice one. Peace.
In a bit, Tommy.
That was amazing.
I think that's where we have to finish up. That was a brilliant place to finish up on. Well, there you have it. Thank you, everybody on the side who. Hold on. There's one quick thing. Shane says Kemal looks like a roadman Spider-Man. Okay, that's it. That's it for me. That's
it. D-Dubs. Read D-Dubs comment, bro. Let's get the answer quick.
Let's go one before. D-Dub says, do you think Oli wanted Sancho and Van der Beek? As it's weird that he's not playing Sancho as much. Also, the style of play doesn't suit his strength. I think Oli didn't want Van der Beek, but definitely Oli wanted Sancho. He's actually played Sancho quite a bit. There's certain games I don't think he can play Sancho because he hasn't been on form. So you can't just keep on playing him if he's not playing well, especially when Oli's job is also under pressure as well right now. So I think he's trying to find the balance of when to play him, when not to play him. I definitely think Sancho was an Oli one as well, even though we were trying to get him before. So, but Van der Beek, no. I definitely don't think that was an Oli signing. Anyway, we'll finish up there. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. Thank you, everybody who's came in. It was also great to see Mark. It was really, really good to see someone new come into the show as well and discussing and trying to get me rattled.
Great to see Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's going to have to come on the That's fucked up. Let us know if you agree with what we've been talking about. Also, let us know if there's any certain topics that you guys want us to discuss, and we would love to discuss. Mark, you coming in, make sure you subscribe. Anyone else who's watching that's new, make sure you subscribe, you follow all of our pages, and we're going to keep bringing
you the bell icon so you know when we're about to go live.
Yeah, what he just said, even though I didn't understand it. But make sure you guys I'm joking, Ben. I'm joking. We're gonna see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Peace.